All this month on Cook This, I'm sharing my weeknight go-to meals your whole family will love. Today I'm making my smothered pork chops Florentine. This restaurant quality dish is one of my faves, and I think it's going to be yours too. Hey guys, so first to get started on these delicious pork chops, wait until you taste these. So I have my flour, all-purpose flour. We're first going to coat them. We want to create a nice little golden crust. So all-purpose flour, salt and pepper, and I have some garlic and paprika. So you have to season your flour. He used to say that all the time. I remember as a kid watching Emeril Lagasse, and he would always say, your flour doesn't come seasoned. Season your flour. And it really makes a difference. All right, so a little bit of paprika, garlic, salt, and pepper. We're good to go. I'm just gonna set this aside for a second. And now our pork chops. So these are beautiful. So we have some bone-in pork chops. And you always want to dry your pork chops. That way they don't steam when we go to saute them in the pan. So you just want to pat them dry. Heavy duty paper towel does the trick, just like that. And then we're going to season them on both sides with salt and pepper. All right, so we're good to go. All seasoned. Heat your pan. You want that pan to be nice and heated. And then we're going to work one at a time, coating our pork chops in that seasoned flour. Just shake off the excess. So you can also see here, I went ahead and trimmed a little bit of that fat away because after we smother them, you don't want to cut into that first bite being a piece of fat. Some of it renders in the skillet, sure, but not all of it. So you definitely want to trim that away before you then coat your pork chops. Okay, important tip, don't forget this delicious flour mixture. You just want to save about 2 tablespoons of it. That's going to help with the sauce at the end. Okay, set that aside. Now we're going to sear our pork chops. We have about medium heat. So all of these pork chops will not fit in this 12-inch skillet, and that's a pretty big skillet. If we added all of them, they would steam and not get that beautiful golden sear. So I'm going to work in batches, 2 at a time. And while our pork chops are sauteing, we're gonna prep our onions. So really, this is the only thing you have to chop. Pretty easy. So this is an easy go-to weekly meal I make quite often. My husband Andreas loves it, and it's super easy to make. I came up with some easy weeknight meals that I can get on my table. So I thought, you know what? If I'm having great success with these delicious, easy meals, I gotta share them with you too, right? So I hope you're gonna love them. This one, I'll be shocked if you don't. I want to hear if you love this one. All right, so all I'm going to do is slice my onion. And here's a little trick to get beautiful slices. Okay, you could slice many ways. You could slice this way, and then you get these stringy slices, or you could get these really pretty slices. They're more like a wedged slice. Turn the onion the opposite way, and then slice it. And then you get these beautiful little mooned slices. Just looks prettier in your sauce. All right, look how beautifully golden our pork chops look. Great. So they're going to finish cooking in the oven when we then melt the cheese. But we need to cook our smothered part of the pork chops. So I reduced the heat just a little bit. So you want to cool down that heat a little bit before we add our sliced onion. We did this a little bit ahead. Into the pan it goes. So we just want to saute this for about 2-3 minutes, just until it gets tender. So we have all that little brown bits in there, so you want to be careful. So you definitely want a heavy bottom skillet here, otherwise You can have a lot of burnt particles in the bottom. A nice, good, heavy pot will give you a really nice fond. Add some little bit of heat, some red pepper flakes, and just a pinch of salt. So we have to season, obviously, always in layers, a little bit on the onions. Onions nicely sauteed. Now remember, we held that extra flour to the side. Sprinkle it right on top. This is going to help build our sauce. And some butter, so a little bit of butter again. So we're creating a little bit of a roux. You just want to cook out that flour flavor. You don't want that raw flour taste. Just for about a minute. Smell of butter and onions. My goodness, that's all you need, really. Makes the kitchen smell delightful. Okay, looking good. Now I have 1 can of diced tomatoes. So I prefer the fire roasted. And I found you can find them pretty much in every grocery store. They just have a little bit more extra flavor. They have that smoky flavor. And by adding the tomatoes, you get that nice pop of acid, but you get the liquid part of it that then creates our sauce. So just give it a nice toss. And now for the Florentine part of our smothered pork chops. Spinach. And that's actually what Florentine is, spinach. Cooking with spinach. So I'm going to add half at a time. If I add all of it, it's just going to sort of fall out of the pan. So a little bit at a time, get it to wilt down, and then we'll add the remaining spinach. I'm going to season a little bit of salt and pepper. So this happens really quick. The spinach is going to wilt down. You want to keep it that beautiful, vibrant green color. All right, so cut the heat. We've got this beautiful sauce. And now I've heated my oven to 425 degrees. We're going to top this right on top of our pork chops, just like this. So I've added the pork chops right into a rim baking sheet. Top this delicious tomato, onion, spinach mixture right on top. All right, now for the best part, mozzarella cheese. So you just want to mound it nice and high right on top. And after I get all the cheese onto our pork chops, into the oven it goes. We're just going to cook it until all this cheese melts and the pork is cooked medium doneness. About 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, she's good to go. In she goes. Look at these. Oh my, yes, they are as good as they look. So yummy. All right, we gotta taste them. So you do wanna let them rest for about 5 minutes. They are pretty hot at this point. All right, we're going in. Hot. See, cooked perfect. So see this here? That is a perfect medium. So you want it to be slightly pink in the center. That way it remains juicy and delicious. And check out my article from last month. I'll tell you why it's okay to cook pork into medium doneness. So good, so savory. You get those tomatoes with a little punch of acid, ooey gooey, delicious cheese. And the spinach, this is all you need. This is your meal. For this recipe, head over to the newspaper's website. I'm Shereen with Cook This. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.